So welcome to Vibe Osmosis. How's everybody doing?
Thank you. We're doing good. We're chilling. Having a good night here in Cincinnati. Doing great.
And I want to get into introduce yourself, what you do, what your band is.
Okay, yeah. My name is Colin Holderby, and I'm a drummer for Eat the Sky. Um, and that is our band, Eat the Sky. We're kind of like a math rocky, like post-hardcore sort of vibe from indie, and we have a lot of fun. So, and then I'm Alice. I play guitar. I sing and I play bass. I play seven strings sometimes. Um, our third member is Elias. He plays guitar and pedals. He's a wizard. But he's working right now. Rest in peace. An astrophysicist.
How long have you been making music?
Um, so that's an interesting question. As Eat the Sky, Alice and I have, or as Eat the Sky, we've been making music probably for like a year, or maybe
About 7 months.
yeah, about 7 months. But Alice and I, who are here tonight on Vibe Osmosis, we've been making music together since freshman year of high school. So it's been about 7 years for us, 6 or 7 years for us. So and we've been in multiple different projects together for our whole career.
I want to ask. I guess we'll go into some of the basic ones. I checked out like your TikTok. How do you feel about the TikTok ban?
I don't know. I think it might be good for our society. Maybe TikTok is giving us a little bit too much noise. At the same time, TikTok gives you a lot of um, visibility, but maybe it's not always good for everyone to be so visible to each other.
No, that's a really good point. I think with the TikTok ride, if China, I mean, isn't China the people that the ones that created it?
That's like the suspicion, I guess. But I follow NPR on Instagram, and they posted that TikTok is going to deny that there is any Chinese-based entity that resides above them. Now, I mean, obviously, we don't know anything about that. But again, like Al said, like TikTok it's good for band stuff, and for promotion, all that kinds of stuff. But it's just, people can get consumed by it, just like any technology. So,
I think TikTok. I mean, if it dies, it's going to be back to like Instagram, back to the next thing or whatever.
yeah, Instagram's awesome, though. Do you like Instagram?
I think that the reels are maybe not as cool, or just like refiltered. Uh, kind of like
Yeah, yeah.
some of the same ones that are kind of big on TikTok just happen to make its way into Instagram, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, and everyone also kind of like, I feel like when I see those, like, everyone can kind of tell that, like, it's obviously people trying to catch TikTok lightning in a bottle on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like, Instagram obviously added that feature pretty recently. And OG Instagram was pretty cool, but, again, like, short little video clips, like Reels, TikToks became the craze of the nation, right? I guess Instagram wanted a piece of that, so.
Now, all right. So, do you use like a microphone or headphones, typically, or like right now?
We're not right now. We can plug in a mic or something like that.
I just wondered because just I just wondered. All right. So here's your good classic question. All right. Your astrological sign. Do you follow it?
Uh, I'm gonna have Alice answer this first. I think Colin is exactly like his astrological sign. It's the dreamer, and this guy is like the most unrealistic person I know. He loves to dream. What? I'm a Cancer. I don't like that. Fuck that. I don't think it's
Like I like to mention like my dad is born on the same day, but him and I, are two completely different type of people, in so many ways. So it's like you could share the same kind of sign maybe, but you still like maybe have your own ways about being yourself. I don't necessarily know how I feel about the whole generalizations, but some of it I guess you're trying to relate to.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's totally true. I don't know. I'm a Pisces. I was born in February, and it is kind of interesting to me that I mean, a lot of the stuff is true. Like, I'm definitely more emotional. I'm definitely more on like the dreamer and empath side. It seems to be like a lot of the Pisces things apply to me. But also, like, it could just be some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really know what to vibe with. It's not really my thing.
So, here's a really good one. Favorite movies for everybody.
Oh, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Okay.
That is not my favorite movie. What's yours? My favorite movie is it's probably Black Swan. I don't know if you've seen that movie. It's kind of crazy though.
I've seen
Or
that in
Flash.
theaters.
It was pretty good. I love the art. I think in another life I'd be a dancer. I really like dancing. And ballet. Um, and I love Whiplash because it's all about the breakdown and the psychosis that is induced by pushing yourself to boundaries in music.
Okay, so I will ask you about this. You said that you now only been Eat the Sky for this certain period of time. Were you a band before this or something else?
So we used to be called WHIT, WHIT, and that was a good vibe. It was just Alice and I. We would occasionally have like a third person join, um, but usually we do a pretty good job filling up as just the two of us. We met our friend Elias, and we met him through actually another band. We were all supposed to play in the rhythm section for our friend Philip. And so we all got put in an Instagram group chat, and we met Elias through that, and we just hung out and chilled and stuff, and talked about life and vibed and played music. And he ended up being the kind of guy that we were looking for to join us. And so we finally got a third permanent member. We had been looking for a third member for so long, but like, either people weren't playing the right stuff, or they weren't saying the right stuff, pretty much. So we just had to hold off. So.
I'm always looking to jam. I mentioned this because have you seen that there's Eat the Sky, like this heavy screamo band that's like older out there.
No, we did not know that. Are they good? Like, are they kind of big or what?
I wouldn't. I mean, I personally do like progressive and screamo music. I grew up going to this place called the Metal Grounds that put on a lot of different acts like that. But at the same time, I'm like maybe whenever you're doing Eat the Sky band, you're really having to take the dive on which one.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we just make our own like so. We're not the tightest bands ever, and we're not the most digestible or relatable band ever because we're certainly not pop music. But I legitimately think that our sound is like crazy. Like, we got a weird blend of stuff, and it's really experimental. So like, I mean, knowing that there's like a metal band, they need this guy is sweet, and we love metal and stuff. But like, I don't know. I have faith that we're gonna burn a unique enough path in the ground that people will know which Eat the Sky like they're looking for. You know.
And how did you come up with Eat the Sky? How did it form? And exactly, yeah, like go into like your music and your material.
Yeah, I think. Well, so we had the band name conversation for a couple days, and that was interesting because the three of us sat down and we talked about it. for so long and came up with nothing. We went to AI generators and generated 1,000 things, and then hated all of those. And then we were randomly throwing out names. I think we were like panda, cactus, centaur, or something for a little bit. I don't know. But I don't know who threw it out, but we decided on Eat the Sky. Because we like the imagery of somebody screaming at the sky, right? How that looks like them eating the sky. Actually, you mentioned the stars earlier and star signs, and I think Colin and I are both, and Elias too, I mean, as an astrophysicist, are all pretty obsessed with space and the idea of, like, the great beyond or what could be out there. And I've got space tattooed on my arm. I think we're trying to reach that with our music, some sense of transcendence. And I hope that can be seen through, like, we're trying to get that embedded in all of our art or all of our, like, even if it's like a shitty Instagram post, that it has some, it's putting you in a different dimension because, I don't know, it's so interesting. And that figure of somebody looking up and screaming at the sky, at eating the sky, right, with their mouth open, yelling at God, I think was kind of what first, got us interested in that band name.
Do you want to add on to that?
I mean, I don't know. I was covered a lot of it. I don't. She covered pretty much all the origin stuff. Really, like, I mean, our music can just really be described as, like, again, like, we've got a song. We've got a lot of stuff that's about to be released on Spotify. We just recorded a live EP at Monastery Studios here in Cincinnati. And I mean, I think Alice is correct about the whole transcendence thing, like, I, for one, like, dude, since the day I've been born, I have been demanding to be part of something more, and I've been pissed about the fact that I'm not, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. Like, I'm mad that it's not, I love the show Futurama, and growing up, and I'm mad that it's not the future and I can talk to aliens, but I'm also mad that it's not 1900 and I can discover, something else, you know what I'm saying? So, with technology and stuff, and in today's age, it feels like sometimes I can't do everything I want to do, and I'm a super, like, dreamer and ambitious kind of guy and stuff. And so, like, with music, like, if you can achieve, like, the right vibes with your friends on stage, and you can really, like, just play your ass off, and you can make some magic happen, like, you can achieve some awesome things. I mean, I remember so clearly we played a show back in November, and we were in the middle of our song Pictures of Eden, and we were just blasting off, and for like 3 seconds, man, like, we were levitating off the ground, and everybody in the audience knew it, and we knew it, and we were just sending out, like, just these waves of energy, and it was just, like, insane, and, like, those 3 seconds were, like, the most worth it thing I've done in music in a long time, so, I don't know, I think Alice did a good job, though, with all the origin stuff, but that's kind of what our music's about. Yeah, I think it's a really unique experience to be, like, playing on stage during a moment like that, because it's almost like you disappear. Like, it's not about you or what you're doing. It's just like, oh my god, it's so loud. Especially in these, like, smaller venues we play. Like, a lot of people have earplugs in, and it's just loud, and you're feeling the bass drum thumping, and it's something unlike any other feeling that I've ever experienced. It's like right when you go over the edge of a roller coaster, but so much more intense.
I want to bring up a really funny question on this one. Are you fans of smoking weed?
So, yes. I'm just going to go ahead and say, you know what, yeah, my mom knows about this, my dad knows about this. It'll probably be legal by the time we're famous. Yeah, like, I mean, of course, you know what I'm saying? The problem is...
It's legal most places.
Yeah, you're right. It's legal most places, and the other thing, too, is, like, I don't know, man. Like, the world is it seems pretty shitty sometimes, and weed is just seeming to help out the process sometimes, so, I don't know. I mean, that's my take on this. I'm not going to say too much. What about you? Can you relate to this?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was going to ask you, what carnival ride would you like to ride while you were high?
This is a good question. I think... Ooh, that's a good question. Not a Ferris wheel, bro. Not a Ferris wheel. No, the Ferris wheel, I would be tripping. The spinny thing, might be crazy, but it might also make me die. Oh, the teacups. I'll just go with a roller coaster. The speed would be insane, you know?
Also,
What
would
was the
you
bumper
ever?
cars?
Would
The
you?
bumper cars, final answer. High driving in the bumper cars.
Bumper cars is essential for sure. I feel like that's my go-to, especially if I'm stoned. But my next question is, would you ever become a pirate?
Will we ever become what? A pirate? Oh, I mean, fuck yeah, dude. Literally, like, okay, so this is probably gonna kill my chances of being famous, but like, I play D&D, a lot. Our friend group does, and I hosted a pirate themed D&D session, and we just like drank some rum and some tequila, and like we had a great time. And I mean, yeah, it seems like it'd be kind of fun to be a pirate. It seems a little dirty at times, but I'm not the cleanest person either, so I think it'd be a vibe. I'd love to see one of those big storms out there over the sea. Yeah.
Here's a funny one. All right. So, if you had to go to work naked, what job would you choose?
Like, okay, like we could do any job, but I'd have to do it naked. I mean, I would love to be an actor. I'm not good at acting, and I never tried it, but like, it would be sweet to be in a Marvel film, and like, if I gotta be butt ass naked, like a naked ass alien in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I'd love to, bro. I'd be an astronaut. A naked astronaut, says Alice.
Um, do you believe in ghosts?
No, I don't. No, but my brain does.
Have you ever like experienced anything freaky or weird or supernatural that you'd say is like worthy?
I mean, the problem is I used to believe in God, so like I usually just attributed that to be like a religious thing and not like a spooky ghost type thing. Um, but nah, like I don't know, not me personally. Sometimes I more so think I'm just like tripping balls and it's like the Matrix than like some spooky shit, you know.
If
You
you
know,
guys if you guys had to like characterize yourself from like a cartoon show or like an animated show or like a sitcom, like who would you guys compare each other to?
okay. If it can be any show, listen. Uh, Dude, I don't for real know, man. At first I'm thinking like Phineas and Ferb energy, and then I'm thinking Rick and Morty, but I don't want to be like the dumb guy that says Rick and Morty, so I'm not gonna say that. Um, I don't know, man. I'm kind of like, you know what? I'm a lot like Bender from Futurama. Um, mixed with like Brian from Family Guy though. Like I can be like cool and smart though as well as like a blundering idiot like Bender is, you know. Elias is a wild card. If I had to say that he was anybody from any TV show, oh, yo, he's that alien from Modern Family. He's the gray alien. No, he's not. Wait. No, Elias is Stewie Griffin, absolutely. Yeah, he's an evil genius. He's Stewie Griffin mixed with like one of the Rugrats. Yeah, I don't know who Alice is. Alice is just Sandy Cheeks, bro.
Have you had any dreams lately?
Yes, I had 2 nightmares this morning. Well, it sucked. So my girlfriend stayed the night, and she woke up for class because she's still in college. And so we had to wake up pretty early. And I went back to bed for like an hour before I had to get up. And I had a nightmare that this guy named Angelo, I met this crazy guy named Angelo, in the woods when it was raining, and he was like a murderous, like, bomber kind of guy. And basically it was like raining, he was in the woods, and I was chilling, and I witnessed this dude, I just knew that his name was Angelo, but I witnessed this dude, like, murder these 3 other people, and then he turns toward me, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta go. And so I dip, and I go hide in my house, and the whole time I'm just like, I'm just like on edge. Like, when the fuck is he gonna like appear in the doorway? When is he gonna like jump through the window? And then the dream like broke, and then I ended up in a bar and I was playing this pool, and partying with a bunch of people. And then he found me, bro, and that's how the dream ended. It sucked, dude. I don't usually have nightmares, so I'm definitely more of a chill, really fun, lucid dreamer. But you know,
All right. So if you were in the mafia, what do you think your job would be?
so I'm actually very Italian. My family is Italian. I have a very Italian last name. If I would be in the mafia, I think I would either be like an arsonist or like uh, an advisor. I think I would be a good mafia advisor. I think I would be a good like give the Don advice. I would like to be like an 80-year-old mafia mom who you come to for advice. I would be the Don. Absolutely. Yeah. Colin thinks he would be the boss. He would actually be like the stupid bodyguard. Yeah, I would actually be like the driver or something. I don't know.
Like, hey,
I'm a
yeah,
decent driver.
you drive my car. I got such like.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly, bro. I don't even know what Elias would be. Elias would just be like fucking like the smart guy in the mob. No, Elias.
You don't know nothing about nothing.
Exactly, bro. You appropriate my people like this. Just the bus.
I'll just keep throwing them out there. All right, all right. So, if you were going to rob a cat, whose cat would you burglarize?
Whose cat will we steal? The governor of Ohio, Mike DeWine. I don't know if he has a cat, but I would take it. Hey,
Hell yeah.
I don't fuck with cats. I don't want a cat. I like a dog. I fuck with cats heavy.
For some reason, my answer is like Mel Gibson or Elton John.
Bro, I don't even know Mel Gibson for real, but Elton John would be crazy, bro. He's probably got the bougiest cat of all time.
Give me back my cat. Yes.
Dude, I get you, bro. I get you. I totally get you, bro.
So, here's a really funny one. If you had to be handcuffed to one person right now, who would you be handcuffed to?
Probably my girlfriend, but also maybe Alice or Adam. Because if it was my girlfriend, we would just have, like, normal sex. But if it's one of the boys, I would just hang out. And we would just chill.
Yeah, I guess
if
you were handcuffed to your bro though, I mean obviously he'd have to be invited in no matter what because like I guess it's going down. I was gonna say a famous person or like a famous like pop singer because they're always having to go out and to like be at the shows and then be like, well, Tyler the Creator's playing, but he's also handcuffed to Jeffrey.
Dude, dude. I fucking love that. You can be handcuffed to an awesome drummer, and then you can play awesome drummer. Oh yeah, we just be handcuffed to a drummer, and I just Lorna Lewis, right? No. Yeah, but hold on, Jeffrey, do you know about drummers? Like, what music do you like, bro?
I listen to a lot of music.
Well, you said metal.
Yeah, I do. I take the dive on like quite a bit. I'm what you call like a freedom child. I'm a record player, and then like I tune into like what's out there, rap, country, experimental jazz, whatever kind of like my friends work in the record shop, so like they throw out a lot of music.
Dude, that's sweet, bro. I got some vinyl over here. I got a little Audio Technica LP 120 record player, but right now I broke my speakers, so I ain't playing shit on it.
The one that I've been using lately skips on like a lot of the records. So some of the records play all the way through if I'm lucky, but then a lot of them just like skip. So I'm like, okay, I'm making loops here, so I'm gonna just roll with that.
Okay, so since you're like a record guy, are you more of a are you more fuck with like the like old scene like 70s type shit? Or do you, or are you a modern music kind of guy? Okay, totally fair. But what's your, can you name like your top 3 or 5 bands right now? Like, do you like? This is always a hard one. Whenever I ask a musician or like somebody that's fucking music, like who their favorite person, like obviously nobody can ever like say for sure who my favorite person is, but
Um, all right. I'll give out Sonic Boom, Spaceman 3, Nirvana. Um, I'll definitely say The Garden, The Strokes, and like Animal Collective.
okay. Well, dude, that's an interesting like a little array. Like, that's a nice little spread.
I'll repeat the question for you. What kind of music would you shout out?
I guess I can go first. Gosh, I don't know. I love a lot of different music. I love Phoebe Bridgers. I always have. I've been really into Ethel Cain recently. All of that shit is crazy. That's been a big inspiration for me, definitely for our next project too. My Chemical Romance is maybe my favorite group of all time. I'm so emo, I know. But I love jazz. I love jazz a lot. I love John Coltrane. I love Miles Davis. I love Christian Scott. Um, he's so good. KKPD is one of my favorite songs of all time. Um, but other than that, I love a lot of bands. I really have been loving what Breakends is doing with production right now. It's maybe a little poppy for my taste usually, but the production is insane. Hey, yo, shout out Sean for being the OG math rock band. That is where I got all my chops. Was trying to play to Sean when I was not really good enough. Snarky Puppy's always a vibe. I really like that shit. So I actually went to school for jazz. And so for a while there, I was living and breathing just straight up jazz, man. So Coltrane and Elvin Jones, are just like my goats. But I'm really a fan of some modern stuff too. I really like Hiatus Coyote, Bad Bad Not Good, Kendrick, Tyler, Animals as leaders, Matt Garska. Shout out Matt Garska. I think him, Benny Greb. Okay, if they ever do this, yo, Benny Greb, Lionel Lewis, Matt Garska, best drummer in the world, best three drummers in the world right now. No shot is anybody better than Matt Garska, Benny Greb, or Lionel Lewis, and I will die on that hill. But yeah, Animals as leaders, great band. Title Fight, love post-hardcore. So that's pretty much it.
All right, so I'll get into back into the music part. Um, what brought you guys together to start like making this project exactly? Like, was it like a message behind like the music? Did the music happen and you were like, okay, this is what's gonna happen? Were you writing songs, and having like a new idea, new direction?
Yeah, so I think it first started that we were just playing shows. Colin and I were together, and we really wanted a third person to fill out the song. And when we found Elias, we knew that we had hit something special. And we took a little while to like get comfortable and write some stuff together. And I think that we got to the point where we were like, okay, these songs we think that we need to be heard. And the way we write is sort of interesting. It's usually either Elias or I brings a riff. And Colin does a lot of the arranging with his drums, and we'll talk about structure with us. And then a lot of I write all the lyrics for the songs that I sing, Elias for all the ones that he does. But I think what this next album is about, this is maybe not why we got together, but I think this is the story that we realized that these songs were telling, or the story that I kind of proposed that we would tell with this, and everybody was like, hell yeah. The project is called Pictures of Eden. It's an album. And it's supposed to give you like a glimpse of heaven. But maybe heaven isn't exactly how you expected it. So it starts out with the song Pictures of Eden. It's super ethereal, harmonics are everywhere, beautiful guitar, and maybe it crescendos to somewhere you wouldn't expect. And I'm trying to tell a story. There's a narrative. There's characters. Eve and Adam, obviously. But her name is Eden, and his name is Adam in the album. And we'll follow their story through these like warped psychedelic, these pictures, these Polaroids of Eden, these pictures of the garden that are warped because they're not supposed to be in our world. Is heaven even worth it in the first place? Those are the questions we're trying to ask with the album. That's a good answer. I got nothing to add. I mean, the only thing I can add to this really is just for the origin stuff again. Like, so Eat the Sky started with what Alice was saying with Elias, and then and she obviously just did a great job. I mean, she did a great job of summarizing that. But again, like Alice and I have been making music since our freshman year of high school, and that just happened because we just both liked music and were friends, and we just both wanted to jam and we're good at it. And we kind of became known in our high school as like the two, there were a lot of music kids, a lot of good, really good, talented people in our high school that went to music schools and stuff, especially our class. But Alice and I ended up winning like the Battle of the Bands our senior year, and we did it all 4 years, and we ended up playing like the homecoming, like tailgate, like pep rallies and stuff, and had shows as well. And obviously, there weren't as many house shows in high school as now, so I think a lot of people kind of just knew us as people that like the band of high school, like the two kids that played music, and we just had a lot of fun making music together. We did a million different things. We did some folky blues stuff. We did some just straight up garage rock back in the day. We did some weird math rock with a trombone at one point. And now we finally kind of landed on some weird ass experimental, awesome, ethereal stuff, So yeah.
Like growing up, it was like yeah, like I was playing that course like with like my high school friends, but once I got into playing with like I don't know, like other musicians that like actually had bands going on. And I feel like that's whenever the pressure kind of came on to me. I was like, okay, like can I actually like, play in a key? Can I actually like add stuff to like their sound that they appreciate, or like I try to really like look at like all the different aspects of like working with another band. And did it feel like with this you're trying to find out like what's gonna work for different songs? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally get that. So for the chemistry thing, like, I mean, Alice is legitimately. So I'm in my apartment right now with Alice, and the only other person here is my other best friend in the entire world, and he's been my best friend for like 15 years, and he's also my roommate. But him and Alice are like my number one best friends. Like Alice, like we make music a lot of the time because music is like our profession and our passion and what we're trying to do. We both went to school for music. We both dropped out of school to do music full time. And so the music happens a lot of the time, but I mean, the chemistry, like Alice and I just hang out every day, like pretty much whether or not music's happening. We just like to hang out, and occasionally consume some cannabis, as we mentioned earlier. But we just like, we just like to hang out and have a good time. And Elias too, like, I mean, he's just dope and super chill. So it's like, it's easy for us to, there's not a ton of pressure, with doing music seriously because we all like really enjoy each other's company. But like you were also saying, where like you kind of jammed with your friends in high school, but then like when you think about bands, it's kind of weird because of the pressure and stuff like that. There is something to that too. Like Alice and I are best friends, and like we're at the point where we're just like brother and sister at this point. So like. I mean, we'll both get annoyed and mad at each other in the writing process because we're taking our music seriously. And that just because we're best friends and we've made music for so long doesn't mean we're gonna agree on everything. So sometimes it gets stressful because we both want to do the best thing we possibly can do, and we both want to just make something insane. But when we take it really seriously and we want to make money off of the gig, and we want to always boost our engagement, and we just want to get this stuff rolling. That does add like a good amount of pressure and requires a good amount of energy and mental focus to like be consistent with that. So yeah, and I think part of it too is that the three of us are coming from very different perspectives at it a lot of the time, and I think that's what's something that makes our band special is that the three of us are coming at it from different perspectives. I mean, Colin learned how to play the drums on bucket drums and was like trained in the fires of a jazz combo, which is a whole different vibe than, I mean, I love poetry and music theory. That's what really makes me passionate. Like, I was pursuing being a conductor at one point. And Elias is a crazy space wizard who has an insane pedalboard and has spent so much time learning the ins and outs of that. And he is also an amazing player. When I met him, he was fully an intuitive player who knew just the pentatonic scale and the name of some chords. is crazy because he can play way way better than I ever could. He was also a COVID guitarist too. So Elias, he is an astrophysics major at UC, and his father was a session guitarist as well. So he's some people. Yeah, yeah. He doesn't like that, but his dad, just like I don't want to grow up to be my dad. His dad was a session guitarist. So Elias definitely has a lot of natural talent, but I mean, he was like totally a COVID like bedroom guitarist. Like he started in like the latter half of 2020, 2021 vibes. So he's only been playing for 2 years, whereas Alice and I have been playing for like 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, and we both went to music school, and some pretty good music schools too. And so like, it's just funny because Elias is just like, he's just a genius. I mean, he's just got a massive brain and a massive sense for what is dope and awesome. And so we really kind of lucked out with him having the brain that he does. So.
I want to bring up a really funny question. Are you guys fans of Ariel Pink or ever follow?
Can you repeat that? Yeah, can you repeat that real quick? Sorry. Oh, I've listened to Ariel Pink. I like Ariel Pink a lot.
I'm like, now at this point, like, I've been to their shows, and, like, I've had so much interactions, I guess, like, with the people in the band, and Ariel Pink, and, I think, I don't know, what do you think about the progressions, I feel like, since this whole switch over? Like, now, since the dark side has happened, and then now we get, like, this other stuff, like, what do you think?
You asking me about which switch?
Like, I feel like since the whole, him being off of Mexican records or Mexican summer records, and like him.
Right. Coming back in 2021.
Yeah, and then about to say like now we're getting like these other kind of releases he's put out because like I still kind of tune into the fact he's got like a whole 3 albums he's kind of leaked since that whole thing, just kind of showing the fact like he still makes music and is still putting out stuff. Like,
yeah, I mean, I think that's really cool. I really like following musicians' music as they age too. I think it's really interesting watching what age does to a person and the way they write. I mean, we still play a song in our set that I wrote when I was like 15 years old, and I'm still really proud of it. But it's very different than the music I write now. There's just something about my brain that's lost that. There's some past self that has died, right? And I think that's true for Ariel Pink as it is for all artists as they even go from album to album or song to song. That whatever consciousness wrote that is gone now. But I think it's very cool to see how people evolve, especially. I mean, Ariel Pink, who was silent for those 22 years, and came back and dropped those 3 albums. It's crazy.
yeah, and I want to also bring up like in Animal Collective's case, like they put out this record, Spirit They're Gone, Spirit They Vanished, whenever they were like 20 and 21, and then finally doing like a reissue, release with the new other songs that like are esque of that time or like also like a revamp of that time. I don't know, like it's like obviously like you progress throughout that time, but you still kind of like recognize or know like your material and like know I guess in some sense of like what it was then as far as like starting something and then moving forward too. So it goes to the case for so many bands.
Yeah, no, that's totally valid, man. What I really enjoy too is I kind of love bands that produce like a stupid amount of music too. Like I don't know if you're familiar with like King Giz or like Sweet Trip or something like that, but like yeah, those that like it's just fun because like sometimes people make music and it isn't entirely. It's like I'm not okay. I'm not about to say that the only good music out there has to be reflective of like your emotions that you're feeling and what you're going through. People can make incredible music and it has nothing to do with like their outside environment or like what they're going through. They can just make dope music. But it's been really cool to watch like King Giz and Sweet Trip make a bunch of music and just like kind of see like how they kind of just like they're just kind of roaming around. You know what I'm saying? Sweet Trip obviously like ripped that band. Obviously, so they kind of broke up and some stuff happened there. But with King Giz, like, I mean, they've got the fattest discography I've ever seen. And all their stuff is like Giz, but it's like totally different from their older stuff or like their other stuff. And they're kind of just, it just feels like, oh, like we're all 28 now, and we all like to go to coffee shops. Let's make psychedelic coffee shop music. Oh, we're 29 now, and we like to go do hard drugs in the park. Let's make hard drug park music. You know what I'm saying? Like they're kind of just like doing what they're feeling. You know?
Um, and I really do want to bring up like the stuff in the local scene. Cincinnati definitely has like a really cool like house show kind of like support bringing in different artists and like have like these kind of open to the community gigs. What area are you guys based in, right?
Yeah, so we're both from we were both from Cincinnati, Hamilton County area.
Okay, great.
I went to CCM for school, and Alice went to NKU. So we both I went like CCM's UC's music school, so we both went like right around here. So
That's really interesting. I had a friend that also went out to NKU for for music. A couple friends actually. So it's it's like I've been in that neck of the woods myself more than a few times.
yeah, and you're right about Cincinnati's like local scene too. I just think like to be honest with you, man, I think like Cincinnati's tired of like not being talked about. Like I legitimately think that. Like and it kind of showing up like Cincinnati's just kind of popping off, but like musically, like all we hear about is LA, New York, New York, New York, Nashville, and like we're kind of going through like a little renaissance period. Like I was right smack in the middle of like. Now the house show scene has kind of died down a little bit this year, just because a lot of house show venues got shut down. But when Alice and I started playing again, so we played Helen High School, and then we both went off to different colleges, and then we stopped playing for a bit. When we started playing again, we were right in the middle of like popular house show vibes. Where like every weekend there was 3 house shows Friday, 3 or 4 house shows Saturday, and 1 or 2 house shows Sunday every single weekend. And it was just really awesome to kind of see how the foundation can really strengthen everything above it, because everyone started in that scene, and then, some people would graduate on to the second level and they would start getting booked at the local venues, and then some people graduate onto the third level and they start making some money off the local venues, and that's, you just kind of climb your way out of it, and, if you push and push, you can kind of do it. A lot of my friends were in bands that have now that have now moved to like Nashville, and are just trying to make it work, and they're opening for bigger and bigger acts because they stayed in Clifton, they stayed in Cincinnati, they got like 3,000 followers on Instagram, and then they just kind of made their way up, so.
I definitely want to say like now it's taken till now for Clifton to slightly revive, and it's still not even the same since COVID for sure.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and it's really we have only the scene to thank for the scene existing, though. I mean, really, it's people DMing bands who don't reply. That's us sometimes. That's everybody. It's people opening their houses, right? Like we've known people who have gotten stuff stolen from their houses, which is just terrible. We've known people who've gotten all of their gear stolen from their car before. But the scene always rallies to help, and I mean, really, I think we have a special thing in Clifton and in Cincinnati. That I think we have a very cool, like, rich scene. Like every time I look at a bill or a venue, I see a band that I haven't seen before, which is such a cool experience. Like I can go out almost any weekend. Like when I have friends visit, I take them to a cool underground either house show or some bar venue, or there's this art gallery design collective around here that's awesome. There's a new one opening up in a church over on the east side, just east of Clifton, that's supposed to be awesome. The Refuge. And these house shows, I mean, what's cool too is that we've had people who have helped study some of the safety. Matthew DeLisi has helped with that a little bit. And so you can find them online as. Because house shows can be dangerous, but I've seen rallies and there's always people, I know who to look for at the shows, and people know who to look for at the shows if they need help, if they need to get water, if they need to contact the owner of the house.
And I don't know. I really want to bring up because like in Cincinnati, they definitely have like a really cool thing. Even though that they shut down so many good venues like Urban Artifact and like the good yacht club and like there's slight there's slight revival on the venues that changed throughout time. And there's also like the new places that are recouping or reviving, as I say it.
Yeah, no, that's totally true. I actually, so I used to work security at Bogarts for a long time. Shout out Bogarts. If any of them ever listen to this, I'm sorry that I ghosted you guys. uh, but I used to work security at Bogarts, and that was a sweet venue. And there's a lot of, there's a lot of good venues we found in Northside. Mount Adams has Hi-Fi, which is sweet. Northside's got Northside Tavern Design Collective. And, oh my god, our lead guitarist just walked into the room. Hello, how's it going? This is Elias. Yeah, dude, take a seat. We're talking about venues right now. So, so there's a lot of good venues around, but yeah, you're right, they all kind of changing too, depending on who's staffed and all that kind of stuff.
Alright, so introduce the guitarist, come on into Vibe Osmosis. Welcome to Vibe Osmosis.
Hey, how's it going? Introduce yourself. I'm sorry? Wait, what did you say?
Introduce yourself, guitarist.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm Elias. I play guitar for Eat the Sky. I'm a really big music fan all around, even if I'm not playing it. I love listening to all kinds of random shit. And I'm also a big movie guy. Yeah.
Okay, so... Alright. I want to mention, your astro sign, favorite movie, favorite color.
Alright, my astro sign is Taurus. My favorite movie right now is probably T Driver. And what was the last one? Favorite color. Oh, favorite color. Probably black. Black's a good color. Yeah, black too. Black. I mean, me too. But if black isn't a color. Okay, orange. Like dark orange rose. Dark orange fox. What's your favorite color?
This one is a really, really good one. So, cause mine's forever changing. I think mine right now is yellow because I've heard a lot of good things about yellow. I've always heard that. I mean, pink has always been like my top dog because whenever I was younger, I was like 8 or 9. Like a random person came up to me. Like I was like out like on vacation with my parents, but a random person came up to me and was like, "I see that your aurora is pink."
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so that one's always stuck with me. So I was gonna get into what's your recording process with your band? All right.
So we're mainly a live band, but when we do get in the studio and record, we do live recordings and just try to capture the essence of our live playing into a recording, so we don't have to deal with all the finicky bullshit of replacing stuff and all that. Can I cuss? Is that allowed?
Well, I'll throw this out there. I have a Focusrite Sapphire kind of interface, and it has like 12 different microphone plugins. So it's like really good to like multi-track bands. It's stuff that I've used in the past. I would totally be down if you guys want to find some time like later on, maybe in May, to like come out and like record and sculpt up some collaborations if you're all down.
Yeah, we're always down for stuff. But like I said, so we're gonna have our EP, our live EP coming out from Monastery Studios. It's gonna be out on all platforms soon. But like Elias was saying, dude, like I mean, we're just not like a tracking. Like, we're not like a going to the studio with a click and like track individual part band. Like, we really excel at like pushing and manipulating energy really in a live setting. And we've been looking to
That's
record
what
our
I want.
live
That's what
shows
I
a
want to
lot.
mention. Like I'd like to just like mic up everything separately. Just like
Yeah.
everybody go for it and play live, and then I just kind of like do my thing, and see how like it all comes out in the end.
Yeah.
I mean I got some experience with this. I think we could pull something together. I've checked out like your stuff on Instagram, and I was like, okay, like yeah, like I think they got a good sound. I'd like to see like what you guys have any shows or any current projects coming up?
Dude, we got okay. So I'll send you the list after this. Actually, I guess we can pull it up right now. We can maybe we can get some shout outs for our upcoming shows. But we got like 10 or 11 things booked right now. So we can look it up. I'll have Alex just go ahead and read. Actually, or we can forward it to you if you have like an email or just to your number even. Yep. We're playing in Athens next or a week from today. Up the Smiling Skull. We're playing Southgate House Revival on April 3rd with Cataracts and Downhall and I think one other person. We're playing April 7th at Legends Bar. We're playing at Motor soon. We're playing at Design Collective on April 15th. April 13th we're playing at the Woodward Theater. And we're playing at the Mach D and Hi-Fi it looks like as well. So we're playing at some shows and stuff. And again, like if you come out to one of them and record our shit, we'd love to meet you and work with you and stuff. So
Yeah, I'll definitely come out. I'll definitely be keeping a lookout. I definitely look forward to it. I want to get into some of these really funny essential questions for everybody since you're here. If you were stranded on an island and you could take one thing with you, what would you take?
weed, a guitar, a dog. We have the best. If that isn't the greatest vibes I've ever heard, no, for real. We need a guitar and a dog. Would you bring your interface? Yeah, would you record the island or what? Some field recording.
Yeah, it would be for the ocean vibe. It'd be for vibe of nothing.
Oh,
10 hours of ocean noise.
yeah. Yes.
So you're the guy who's putting that stuff on Spotify.
Dude,
Ocean noise.
I listened to your Vibe Osmosis with the fart. I think Trash Fart is his name.
Okay.
Dude, if you recorded some waves or some ocean sounds and then ran it through like all the psychedelic shit you're about to do to this, that would be sick. You know, that would be so sick.
I could definitely do that kind of stuff. I love natural organic. I got like a lot of those kind of records where they just play really ominous like natural nature sounds and stuff. It's kind of my go-to. I feel like for sampling too. It's like nice to just kind of run it through a sampler, get your snippet, get like some other sounds and put stuff together. And all right, so here's a really good question too. Favorite TV shows, because we mentioned movies earlier, and we did kind of mention like what TV show character like they might represent, but we'll ask like favorite TV shows.
Wait, do you remember what I said Elias was? Because he's sitting here right now and he doesn't know what I said he would be. But wait, what's your name by the way?
I'm Jeff.
Sorry. The iPhone has something else on here. Okay, yeah. So Jeff earlier, he asked us like what cartoon characters we would be, and I said that Elias would be a mix of Stewie Griffin and a Rugrat.
That's legit. I think.
That's what I said, but I just wanted to see his reaction since he didn't know that.
That's fun.
But yeah, movie show not for me, or a TV show for me. It's gotta be I mean, Lost is my favorite TV show of all time, but Rick and Morty was pretty good. I just can't really comment on Rick and Morty in this current state, but yeah.
I'm still a fan.
Yeah. I mean, I'll watch seasons 1 through 6.
Look,
You know,
I mean,
and
I'm looking
I
forward.
just don't know what's gonna happen with the rest of it, but I mean, it's some gold out right now. It's There's some serious gold there, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing if they do another season and if it's any good.
Yeah, I will have to see. I don't know if they're gonna like get some TikTok guys to replace the dude Rick, whatever. I'm blanking on his name right now. Even yeah, Justin Roiland. I don't know if they're gonna get some TikTok guy like impressionist to replace him, or what's gonna go down with that. But I mean, it was my favorite show pretty much.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's AI.
Dude, that would be insane. I feel like we're like a year away from that being good enough where like it'll actually be perfect.
Yeah.
Like there would be some hiccups for sure, at least once or twice, but they also edit. Like they totally edit stuff. So like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
that's
actually
a
didn't
good
even think
point.
about that.
That's a good point.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so continue. Favorite TV shows?
My favorite TV show right now is probably The Sandman on Netflix. I've been binging that. What's up? God, it's just about like the Sandman, you know, like the guy who's like in your dreams and shit. And yeah, it's a pretty cool show. I mean, it's just like kind of sci-fi. It's pretty cool.
Very
It's like
cool.
12 episodes coming out with a new season.
I'm a trippy sci-fi fan myself.
Oh yeah, you'll love this then, dude. It's
Have you
just
seen Black Mirror? Okay.
Yeah. And then Love, Death, and Robots is probably my favorite show of all time. Yeah, that's a good one.
They got a good first season for sure. I binged that.
Yeah,
through.
definitely. Alice, what's your favorite show?
Oh, my favorite show?
Yeah,
if it's a comedy, it's Community. I fucking
Community is
love that show.
amazing. I was gonna say that, but I thought that would be too.
No, I love that show.
Left field.
Yeah, but my favorite like serious show. Ooh, I like a lot of shows. It probably has to be Mindhunter. I think that should. I think performance is insane, insane in that show. And the score is beautiful. It's great.
Well, I think one of the ones I got to shout out show-wise is Poker Face. Have you watched any of that?
I've seen Poker Face. Poker Face is amazing.
I haven't seen it. Is it about Lady Gaga?
It's yeah, I definitely wish it was. I wish he would maybe featured in it, but it's actually just like about a nomad traveling through different areas and comes across murders. So it's like, to me, I'm a big crime junkie. I'm a crime, murder, porn guy. I'm like, this was right up my alley. It was like, okay, you're solving weird crime, but then at the same time, you're having to like experience different like actors, actresses, and go through different cities and have like, you know, a trippy experience.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, no, I love that show to death. I mean, that's probably my top 10 for sure.
All right, so yeah. So I'll get into it about your upcoming shows. Is it something that like you guys have been practicing for? You guys kind of get up there and do like improv set, or like explain what your material is for this show.
Dude, we perform. We have like 3 songs that we just recorded at Monastery Studios down here, and we perform those. Those are pretty preset. But also, a lot of our show is improv. We let it flow and ebb as the energy goes, and we have some crazy moments. There's this one song that literally all we know is that Elias is going to scream, and we're going to play a beat at the beginning. That's all we know. It's different every time. And we do live arranging. That's really what makes this group special to me, is that we can just look at each other, and then Elias like raises his bass, and then we all play a line in unison, and I don't know how it happened. It just happens. It's just what we do when we're lost in the sauce.
Yeah, because, I mean, we got up there, and I was literally just like, I'm going to play one note over and over like this into this rhythm, and you guys figure out what you want to do to it. And the first time we played it, it was like a metal song. And then the second time we played it live, Alice did some crazy shit with her bass, where it was just like, boom, 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 you know, it was so great, you know. And that's part of our magic, you know, just being able to improvise live on the spot and just, like, you know, grab, like, the essence out of the air and put it into music, you know, and you know, music's for the listener, but obviously, you know, the musician's the first listener. So, you know, it's just a great thing to, you know, have as a band, you know.
I definitely agree with you. We were talking a little bit what I want to add to it is like a gear. Favorite gear. What kind of gear do you like using? What kind of stuff do you like to fuck with? What's your sound? You know what I mean?
Yo, shout out Mono Cymbals. I want to be endorsed by them one day. They make the most beautiful cymbals. Shout out Vic First Sticks. They make the most solid sticks. Every other drumstick brand sucks. I will die on that hill. I will never get endorsed by another drumstick company. I don't give a shit how many free sticks they give me. And Ludwig Drum Company is the best drum company, although I also respect a lot of other drum companies like Sonar, Gretsch, for instance. That is the end of my spiel. I'm just a drummer.
I'll let Alice go next.
I love shitty weird guitars that are upgraded. That's my like shit. I have two Ibanez's that I have fucked with too much, and I have a 7-string that I bought off $80 and a pickup I bought off of Grandma for $5 on Craigslist. And I play out of a bass amp, and I play out of a Rumble and a Champion. I play with a Fender Champion as my head, and it creates this crazy like noisy buzzy sound through the bass amp that I really like. And Elias, I'll let take it away because he has more gear than Colin and I could ever do.
Yeah, so I'm the registered gear offender here. Primarily most of my gear comes down to my pedal board. I'm a huge Blast fan, but I also love supporting a bunch of like random small bands. My amp, I really just use anything. I've had like 3 amps break in the last 2 months, so I just buy a new amp and just play with it until it breaks in 2 weeks for some reason. For guitar, I just use a straight, just Swamp Ash FSR Telecaster. It retails at like 3,000-4,000. I got it for like 500 on Marketplace, so absolute steal. And my favorite pedal right now, probably the Avalanche run by Earthquaker Devices. If I ever got sponsored by a brand, it'd probably be them first, because, shout out Earthquaker Devices for making the coolest fucking pedals on Earth. Oh, you're good, man, yeah.
Are you familiar? Are you familiar with like the Vox stuff?
Yeah, so I actually had a Vox AC10 for a while, but that just wasn't loud enough, so I have just another Fender amp now.
So what I'm now trying to get to is like whenever I was younger, I used to kind of like I had this really nice harmony guitar from the 80s. I used to plug that up into like a chorus and a vibrato kind of pedal from Cool Cat, and then I used to plug that into like this radio that I had that like could plug up multiple stereo speakers. So like it was like the aux was like the long tape thing that you could just play in the tape and then have the long cord, and I made it extended to it plugging into my guitar, virtually by plugging into all the pedals and then me having my guitar my 8-inch and going into the pedal. And I would just like tweak out everything and have it come out through the through like that that tape stereo speaker sound by hooking up all those speakers, trying to hook up like a surround sound, but me being the guitar, being the effects. And
yeah, tape stereo and is just something else. I've wanted a tape recorder for so long because recording onto tape is just so much nicer.
Yeah, I definitely think it has its good aesthetic, and like
it's got like its warm warble that you just cannot get out of digital, no matter how much you try to emulate it.
Yeah, and like now that I'm like older, I'm like trying to like whenever I like have my guitar and like all my pedals hooked up and it being like into the little amp, I'm still now like, okay, I'm going to keep it that way, but I'm definitely going to use the mic that I want to like it be mic'd up into like the PA or into like the mixer. So like I still kind of keep a way of like staying true to my sound, if that's like what I use. I want to bring this up because when I was younger, I seen the band the XX play. And
Oh yeah.
this was before they played like the soundtrack for The Great Gatsby. So it was like right whenever they first came to America the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I just remember like they still had like little amps and little stuff, but they had such a big sound because they might just mic them up to the PA,
What?
but they used their little regular gear. And I was like, whoa,
Uh,
like they no wonder they had like a really cool first record and second record. Is like they kind of like stuck to their guns as far as like their way of operating, with each other.
yeah, I mean, yeah. Because I mean, you can get some real nasty sounds out of like shittier amps. It's just all about like the post processing and the recording and what mic you use, how far, all that, blah blah blah. But I don't know. I see a lot of guitarists going digital in this day and age, and I can't do that, man. I gotta stay true to my analog and stereo.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of having like real guitar and then just like editing later is always nice, but I'm not always
Yeah.
focused on it.
Yeah, I get you.
Hey, what are your thoughts on electronic drums versus regular drums?
Okay, I'm not
They
even a
they all
drummer.
get the job done. It's like about what my friend Job from Alcove Dream said.
Hold on, listen to this. Sorry, keep going. Elias was just telling Allison I couldn't hear you saying. Sorry.
All right, so what Job from Alcove Dream said, it was like even if you're using like a stupid drum track and you're like adding like all your guitar and your bass and your vocals, the only thing that's really making that drum track work is because like you're putting like a lot of love into making something. And it really changed my whole perspective. I was like, wow, like you gotta work with what you got, and even if that's like to you a shitty drum track, like you made a track that like I listened to and I'm like, wow, that's really cool.
I've never even thought about that take, but that is absolutely completely valid. It's like you're totally right, and like because I'm a drummer, like I'm super biased about this. Like I say depth to electronic drums, depth to program drums. You know what I'm saying? But you're totally right. Like even if you're a bedroom producer that can't play drums and you can play guitar and sing and you just program in your own drums, at the end of the day, after all the EQ, the compression, whatever you want to do to the drums, you're still, it's not you just taking something that's pre-made, if the drums are going to work, like you said, you gotta make it human with your own vibes added onto the programmed drum. So at that point, it's acceptable. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And like I know, I've heard all about metal drummers, especially this. So when a song will be written, their drums will be programmed initially, and then they'll learn the parts based off of that. I think that's a genius way of doing things. I just don't. I don't personally do that, and that's definitely more effective for like Califia, um, Animals as Leaders, prog metal, everything with technical parts too. Like Meshuggah, any stuff like that. I think is really good for like for programming drums first and then learning it. But yeah, metal drummers are just nuts, man. Metal drummers are really good.
Whenever I was living in Seattle, me and my friend, we got to get really fucked up on some shrooms and go to this street festival that was a weed festival. And there was like a bunch of metal rock bands playing, rock bands, screamo bands, progressive stuff. And this one guy, we were so impressed with his footwork because this guy, he literally was the double kick. There was no double kick. He was the double kick. Like, this guy's foot did not stop the entire time. It looked like he was running a marathon, but slammed it and was so into the fucking music. And, like,
Dude,
he
that's
was,
so dope.
Yeah, I always respect
like
drummers that do
we were
fast
mid
beats and
trip
just one kick
peeking,
drum.
was just like, Are you seeing this?" And like, yeah, I'm seeing this, and was just like, I gotta get up in this, man.
Bro, come to our shows, bro. I'll show you some goddamn single foot pedal, bro.
And I don't know. That's kind of why I give more cred because even like whenever I try to make music percussion wise, I'm still just like, yeah, there has to be more like stick movement involved, and also actually using your hands to get out like your cymbal sounds, the shaking. I don't know, like and recording the atmosphere definitely really makes a difference for any record. My next point was to, with Dave Grohl being as legendary as he's given because he's in Nirvana. If you look at some of the songs, Kurt Cobain actually wrote down majority of the great drum tracks that Dave Grohl had to play. Like in the longest way, it's like if Julian Casablancas got shoved into the studio and was like, "You do the drums," he could have done the drums in the damn self.
Hey yo, I'm gonna call cap on this. So here's my take. I respect Nirvana hella, and I respect Kurt Cobain hella, but I don't want to use. To me, that sounds like the same argument as like the Ringo's Beatle argument. Like with Ringo's and the Beatles. Sorry, Ringo's the Beatles. Ringo and the Beatles. Like a lot of times they had to call in like Bernard Purdy, or other drummers, to come in and play Ringo's part in the studio.
Yeah.
Because Ringo just wasn't all that good. But I mean, dude, Dave Grohl's a monster. I mean, he's a monster. I think Taylor Hawkins, rest in peace, was probably just as good as Taylor. As Dave Grohl. But Dave Grohl's a monster. Whether the parts were written by him or not, he just had insane energy.
No, I agree because that's why Kurt had to give it to him. I think at the same time for the songs that he knew, and the long scheme of things that became what are now so essential to classic rock or like a staple on riffs. If you listen to so many riffs, you're like, okay, like that is definitely like the same chord structure of what so many bands have laid out. Even thanks to the Misfits.
Yeah, that's true. I love the Misfits. I don't know if you know of Helvetia. They're like a slowcore band. I don't know. Have you ever heard? Yeah. So yeah, they're like ex-members of Duster, and they did a cover of Hybrid Moments by Helvetia, and it was just amazing.
All right, so yeah, I'm a big fan of like the Danzig ex faculty members and like why he gets up to his old antics whenever he's on stage with like people that are still alive of Misfits era and begin with. The guy's goated. Also, I want to bring up a funny question. This one's on my end. All right. So, ever trip or no trip? Ooh.
All right. So again,
if I have to edit this out, it's fine.
Yeah, I would. So okay, we'll keep the weed stuff for sure. We have all tripped, and I have done DMT multiple times.
All right, yeah. So I'll take it out for sure. But so I'm also a big fan of tripping, and this is
I've never done shrooms.
This is the moment where I bring it back in on the conversation. All right. So, where is your happiest place on earth?
Whoa, that's crazy. That's a crazy one. I have my answers. There's a place a couple hours south of Cincinnati called the Red River Gorge, and the Appalachian Trail runs through it, and there are all these fucking mountains, and there's this little point on the Appalachian Trail near a peak that you can go to down in the gorge across this little rope bridge that I fucking love, and nobody ever goes there, and I sit there and I eat my lunch whenever I go down there. That is my happy place. Right, Colin, you answer? Okay, for me, so again, yes, I've tripped, and had great times, with that, but, with the happiest place on earth, like, sometimes it can just be in the woods, like, anywhere, but sometimes, like, I don't know, like, I love a view from really high up, like, a city skyline is really nice, Mount Adams, there's this view of the whole city that's just beautiful, and also East Fork Lake. There's a lake down here in Ohio. It's pretty nice. And, we'll hang out there in the summer, and we'll have a good time and swim around and drink and just have a nice time. And one time we were under the stars, and it was at night, and we all left our tents, and we just went and swam around in the lake at, like, 1 a.m. and it was just like pitch black, and you're under the stars. It was just one of the most beautiful things ever, man. There's nothing like being under the stars for real. So.
Also, right before we go, everybody, I know that you've mentioned some of the songs that you like and that inspire you, but if you have any other songs that you want to mention that I play like right after this interview, go ahead and shout them out.
Wait, can I say my happiest place?
Yeah, we did miss yours. Hey, go ahead. Sorry.
Alright, yeah. Okay. In 2003, I was born in Morocco, my home country. All of my family resides there. When I was 4, I moved to America. I had no one here but my immediate family. My mother, my father, my brother, and my sister. I don't have a sister, I have 2 brothers. I now see my family maybe once every 3 years when I visit in the summer. I go for 2 weeks, and I stay at their houses. That is my happiest place in the world.
We back.
I mean, that is actually probably the best thing to have happened on Vibe Osmosis.
Let's go, Vibe Osmosis!
That was a wild card.
Dude, music. We gotta play, I don't know, maybe like a Black Midi song. Elias will probably want to shout out a Black Midi song.
Away by Black Midi.
I'm gonna say Milk by Sweet Trip. One of my favorite songs of all time. Would you like us to send you pictures of Eden? The song is coming out. It's kind of cool, maybe.
Definitely send me some links. I can give you my email if you want to send me like one track that you're down to feature or like a demo or something too.
All right, yeah, we love that, man.
All right, and thank you everybody for taking the time to join Vibe Osmosis. It's been a really good one.
Absolutely, it's been a wonderful time.
It has been so fun, man. It's good to meet you, Jeff, and we will talk to you about recording, all that kind of stuff, man. Thank you so much.
Jeff,
Yeah, we'll definitely keep in touch.
Thank you, Vibe Osmosis.
Adios, Habibi.